Hi, I'm Tim.
I'm Rhenda.
We're Heartiness Approach.
Merry Christmas to you.
And Happy New Year.
It's a Christmas gift to us about a realization that we've made about ourselves.
During the many years of our marriage, we have experienced lots of change.
We have several constants in our life. The biggest one is the fact that we've been married right now here in the end of 2020 for just shy of 48 years.
Now, there's a secret to that. You marry somebody you like. You
Marry your friend.
marry someone you love. And then there's an amazing thing that he's done all these years. And he still courts me. He still tells me I'm his angel in the morning and I look like it when, you know how you look in the morning.
She doesn't, though.
She doesn't what?
Look at,
I don't look what?
like you're not an angel.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she doesn't look like she's an angel.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Anyway, we have this constant in our life, a constant relationship that has been here for 48 years, over 48 years before we got married, right?
Right.
Another constant that we have in our life is our faith. We never forget to have gratitude to Jesus Christ for what he did for us,
Does for us,
for how much he loves us. And so in return, we strive very hard to show love to him and everyone else.
Well, like you said, if you love me, keep my
co-
commandments.
And obedience. And so we try to be obedient. We try to serve others. And that's a constant in our life. We've never wavered in our faith. So we have our marriage that's a constant. We have our faith that's a constant.
Another constant for us is our family. We have, by some estimates, a large family. There are people who have larger, but ours is a fairly large family. And as it expands with more and more grandchildren and more people joining in over time, it continues to grow, and there continues to be a lot of wonder about it. But the constant is that we all have the same root system. We come from the same heritage. We descend from the same ancestors.
That is a great constant.
Yes.
So now we've got marriage, faith, family.
There we go.
This morning, as I was laying in bed, I realized something that's not just this huge revelation because we're actually living it, but we want to go back to our homestead. Our homestead is very, very important to us, and we could walk away. We've been gone from there for almost 2 years, and we could easily say, okay, we're going to stay. I'll keep working. You keep doing that. We'll do whatever. We don't need to go there and do all that hard work. But we can't do that, can we?
We love what we have there. We love what we were doing. We love what we have envisioned for the future there.
So a long time ago, clear back to our early marriage, we talked about having a homestead. But then we did the Air Force, and we did the children, and we did this, and we did that. And it got pushed and pushed and pushed. And it wasn't until 2011 that we went to Utah. There we borrowed somebody's land, our son's, and made this horrible, neglected 5 acres come alive.
It was pretty much a mini dump when we...
Oh, it was an absolute dump.
Yeah.
Piles and piles. It hadn't been lived in for 16 years.
We made... I lost count of the trips, hauling just rubbish away. We also were able to harvest a lot of metal and other...
Steel,
Yeah,
copper.
steel, things that we were able to resell to recyclers. So, not all of it went into the trash, but we hauled it a lot. Just a lot. Just trust us a lot.
One of the things that I believe is the most incredible about that piece of property, it hadn't been lived on for 16 years. It was dead. The only 3 things we found alive on that property were 1 tarantula and 2 snakes. There were no bugs, deer, there were no voles, there were nothing. And that was all around us on the other people's property. But this was dead. It had no life in it at all.
It was the opposite of an oasis.
And we made it into an oasis. We fought 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Not just occasionally, okay?
Constant. For 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah,
they would come.
It would start early spring, late winter, and continue on through June. It was... And then even in July, there was some horrible winds. But, I mean, we're talking every day the wind blew fairly hard, sometimes up to 60 miles an hour.
We tried
for months
surrounding our plants with plastic, with barriers.
Plastic walls.
With plastic walls, yeah. We built things around. You'll see in the picture that we show you about our garden, you'll see these blocks. That was to protect the land from wind, and oh my goodness, we had hog panels that were covered with plastic all the way around to try to keep the wind out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we learned so much. We had a cow, goats, turkeys, chickens, pigs, dogs, cats.
You mentioned goats.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it was an extreme learning job for us. Our well went dry. So many reasons why we left.
Great learning experience, though. It let us know what was possible, even in a climate that was unbearably hot in the summer and very cold and miserable in the winter.
It was up to 110 in the winter and down to summer, and minus 30 in the winter. It was just... So we figured if we could make it there, we could make it anywhere. And...
Well, now, there's a couple things you didn't add in there. Okay, the high winds that we mentioned. Also, the rainfall amount was like 7 inches a year.
Except for that it all came on one day.
Yeah, it all came on the 24th of July. Both summers we were there.
Yes! Oh my goodness! And it totally took out our garden. But then the garden came back. I was so shocked. So then, we were 2 years without a homestead?
Yeah.
2 years without a homestead, and then we found our homestead in Oregon that we rented. And it all came back to us. You guys, there's this scene in my head that I play over and over, and it was when we very first got there. We very first got to Oregon. I was in the house, and I looked out the window.
And what did I see?
I saw
popcorn. That's not it?
No, that's not
okay.
it. Cute. I saw him pull out his broad fork that his boys had given him in Utah. And he went over to the land and stood in it and started going like this. And I said out loud to myself, oh my goodness, Jim is home. It was so great. And then we made this amazing garden there. A huge, beautiful garden. And as you know from watching us through the years, or if you haven't, you can go back, we'll put a link here, how Justin Rhodes and his family on the Great American Farm Tour came and helped us harvest it just as we were having to leave there because our landlord was raising the rent out of price.
and not wanting us to do some of the
he wouldn't allow
things.
us to do the things we wanted to do there. But the homestead did not die within us. Then we spent the next 7 months looking for a homestead. This is no news to most of you. And there we were in Missouri building our homestead again. Mostly I think we were building our house is what it felt like. And we were doing that in Utah too, building our house at the same time. And so here we are. We had to leave because of of health reasons, and those have been taken care of, we cannot go without a homestead.
It feels like a big part of us that without it, it's like an arm's been cut off. We have this increasing longing to go back to our home, to our homestead. 12 weeks, and we'll be there. Yay, 12 weeks. We're looking forward to being with our cow, to be able to milk her. We're going to be getting some pigs because we're going to have
an abundance of milk.
As she has her calf, we're going to have an abundance of milk that can certainly help us grow up the pigs. We're going to have plenty of chickens to provide the eggs that we need, and we need to get our gardens going.
I just can't wait to walk into my house. I lay in bed at night and walk through the house and design it. I mean, it's there.
It's better than her getting anxious about things as she lays there and
I know.
imagines
I'm like,
all that.
I'm going to my house. And I just walk away into my house, open the door, go into my house. So in order for us to be complete, we have each other, we have our faith, we have our family, and we have our land. And now it feels complete.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I think what was the most important thing is that we've moved a lot during our life. And the constant has been for us now is we've got to go back. We found the thing that we love the most, that we want to do.
Yeah.
The completeness in our lives.
Yeah. We give a thanks to all of our friends from the 70s, from the 80s, from the 90s, and now from this new millennium when we're 20 years into it already, right?
Can't believe
wow.
it.
But all along the way, we have made wonderful friendships. Tough to keep up with everybody, but what we've received and gained from those friendships and continue to gain is wonderful, and we're grateful for that.
We especially want to thank our siblings who have watched our ups and downs through the years and supported us and loved us. Just know that right now we have finally found our place in life. We're so excited to be there. And we feel like we have found our today and our tomorrow. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.